Mm.
Hi, people. Aditya here. Welcome to Blazing Football. This is our second episode of our podcast. So, today we have an interesting topic, or rather, the hot topic in world football
Right.
Barcelona. What has gone wrong? From treble winning season in 2014-15 to right now hearing about rumors Messi, their star man, leaving the club. What has gone wrong? So, first thing, I have with me Lakshman Arvind over here, who is a Barcelona fan, and Ashwath and Krishna have joined in for the podcast. So, Lakshman, first, for my first question to you over here is: Bartomeu joined in January 2014, and until now, and did you feel there were red flags before about his
About
control?
his control. Okay. Are you
Yeah.
asking me whether like he should be kicked out or something like that?
No, he's
No,
asking.
like about the decisions that he had made, do you think there were questions raised before itself? Before, let's say 2000, somewhere around 2018, 2017, just after the treble winning season.
Okay. So first of all, I have to talk about the about Bartomeu. The thing is, we won treble in 2014-15 season, right? So that's when
Yeah.
the Messi Suarez Neymar partnership happened, and that was a success for us then. So later, I think during the 2017-18 season, we sold Neymar. So in
Yeah.
those two seasons, we battled against Roma, Juventus, and Roma in Champions League. So
Okay.
the thing is, uh, with with the club, there was a primary defensive problem in the club. So we had to solve that. But what happened instead was Neymar was sold in 2017-18. See, I see the major club problem started when Neymar left the club. Apparently, this was the news that was revolving around. Neymar was forced to leave out. As in, Neymar wanted to leave because he didn't want to be in Messi's shadow. But we could have still offered to keep him in the club if not for Bartomeu. See, basically,
Oh,
right now the thing with Bartomeu, people have speculation is that Bartomeu is a money making machine in Barca, and which is the
hmm.
major reason why people don't want him to be the president of the club board of the Barcelona board. So the thing is, he I feel the major problem for us started when Neymar left, and it was a major scam-ish kind of thing, which could have been done by Bartomeu as a personal motive. So there have been questions raised against him, and apparently there is uh, uh, there is an election happening in 2021 season. So I don't really want to talk about Bartomeu. That's it. That's all I want to say. See, it's I feel more of Bartomeu's decision is more personal oriented than club oriented, which is more like a selfish motive by him.
Okay. So Ashwath, who also supports Barcelona, I want to ask you one question. Do you think that the promotion of La Masia players, what Barcelona was known for, it somehow the players didn't really come out of La Masia as much as they used to since 2014, since ever since Bartomeu took control.
I think so because when we look back at 2008-9 season when Pep Guardiola took charge of Barcelona, the whole I would not say the whole team, but like 4-6 players in the team were from La Masia, and I think more than any player like from outside players, I think the La Masia players know the club's culture more than anyone,
Yeah. So can I
and
can I
I
Yeah.
intervene with this? a bit.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So the thing is, the Guardiola period, Enrique period, and after that Valverde and stuff. Bartomeu came in around 2014. So the thing is, we had a system, as you all know, we had this famous system of playing football, which encouraged people from the Barcelona school. Barcelona
From
school
inside,
of,
yeah.
yeah, that was like a system which was formed. So our game itself was kind of called like the Barcelona school of football, like that. So which the La Masia graduates and the La Masia people who came from La Masia was a very important thing. You see all the people who was built around this strategy: Messi, Xavi, Busquets, Iniesta. Everyone were from the school, La Masia school. So at that
Sergio
time,
Roberto.
yeah, everyone, all the people who were built from the school. So after Bartomeu emerged in the club, it became more like a business strategy. So instead of developing the style, our own school of football, he made it like a business. He wanted to bring in famous faces, and then he wanted to do it in a business oriented way, so which kind of changed the motive and the style of play, which affected, and that is the reason why Enrique was successful in the first season but slowly started diminishing later. So
Yeah.
Barcelona became more of a business oriented club than a, like school oriented, like the Barcelona school of football. It wasn't there after that, after a point.
Yeah. So the thing is, if you remember, there was an academy player who joined PSG, Xavi Simons.
Yeah, Xavi
You
Simons,
might,
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So when your players, I mean, Barcelona had a certain style of playing, and when these La Masia players leave the club, and the moment after, they won the treble in 2015, players like Denis Suarez and Andre Gomez signed.
Yeah,
Marco
So
Fernandes.
the biggest question over here was, why when the players not promoted from the academy like how they have been all these years? And another question was, don't you think this was a red flag which the fans should have addressed at that time, though they won the treble? Didn't you guys notice
see,
a
again,
pattern?
the thing which we all overlook when it comes to football is that fans don't really have a say. As much as we claim whatever we want, this should happen, that should happen, everything decides and is done between the board and the board members. So if the whole board members are with Bartomeu and his business strategies, then nothing can be done until the elections.
But did you
Yeah,
Yeah,
there
but
were
did you notice the pattern in when Andre Gomez and Denis Suarez were signed? When you
yeah,
guys, for a long time, players from the academy didn't really come
yeah. See,
into the
since
picture.
since his arrival, a lot of young players have been sold. If you see, in contrary, we sold Elena last season. We sold Carlos Perez last season. We sold Rafinha last season. So it was more like, as I told you, it was more like a business strategy after he came in. And to my knowledge, for almost 3-4 years, red flags have been raised by the fans, or at least the fans from my circle, against Bartomeu. But as I said, nothing can be done if the board itself doesn't decide anything. So it all depends on the board.
Krishna, I have a question for you. So now, right now, Barcelona are in a position where the it seems like everyone are not happy with the president, are not happy with the manager, and so how do you think Barcelona must react to this situation? Because United had a lot of managerial changes, and there were a lot of times when the fans were, you know, not happy with the manager. How do you think you can, as
I
being
I
in this
still don't
position, how do you think it should be reacted?
I still don't understand about all these fuss surrounding Barcelona. See, they have been the league champions for the last 4 seasons, I guess. And they have, even though they have bottled in Europe, they have bottled in Europe. It's not like they were comprehensively beaten or something like that. Always they had the upper hand, and by some way or by some means they somehow managed to bottle the game. See, they take the game against, say, Roma, take the game against, Liverpool. The game against Liverpool last season, if you see, they had total control in it. Just a moment of lack of concentration and everything is done. Corner was taken quickly and the goal had arrived. After that, they couldn't stop. I don't see I don't see the reason for this first. See,
Like, right?
yeah, there are problems with the board. There are problems with how Bartomeu deals with the club. That and all is fine. But still, if you see, there is always a chance where they can come up easily. They have youngsters like Ricky Puig and all coming up right now from the ranks of La Masia. If you see, as you were talking about the academy prospects, see, there was a time when the midfield trio was Xavi, Iniesta, and Busquets. So I don't think there is anyone who can, any academy player who can be better than these three and who can break into the first side. When you have a midfield like that, it is obviously not possible for a player like, say, Andre Gomez or, a Dennis Suarez to come in and play in the first team. So I guess I don't see the point. See, he was right in selling those players. He was
See, the thing is,
not real.
I feel every club faces this problem. Like United faced this when Scholes left, when Giggs left. Liverpool
Yes.
faced this when Gerrard left. So everyone has a void. So being Xavi Iniesta being one of the best midfielders of all time, we definitely had to face this. But Barcelona is a very big club that they have to be prepared and they have to be certain and sure that the transfers or whatever the move they make should be right, which
See,
wasn't done
that is what I
properly.
was feeling. That is what I was telling about. See, if you take the forward line, there was Messi who was occupying a particular role. He cannot be replaced. It is not at all possible for someone to replace Messi. Then they had Suarez, who was delivering years in and years out. He was like a vital part in the Barcelona.
I'm saying if La Masia school of play should be promoted, they should be given game time. Like during the last years of Iniesta or Xavi, we bought in Andre Gomez, who was
Yes.
supposed to be a replacement for Busquets. But I have the transfers page open, so I'll look into the people who we got in during those time. So around, we got in Arda Turan around 15-16 season.
Mm.
We got in Rakitic. So Rakitic from that era was probably the only half decent or good signing who happened to be a good signing for us. So what I'm saying is all the players like, the upcoming La Masia players should have been given more game time and more chances towards the end of Iniesta's or Xavi's career, which would have helped them to develop their game and which would have also kept the school of play alive. Instead, what we did was we bought in irrelevant players. We bought in players who didn't suit the system, and then we tried to change the whole game or whole this. This is also because the reason why we got in players like Arturo Vidal or someone who's not really in the Barcelona style of football is majorly because we bottled in Europe, and people started questioning our tactics. Barcelona game is going away. It's not effective anymore.
Yeah.
So we wanted to see a
Yeah.
different change or different style of play, which instead I feel we could have probably concentrated on our game itself, on our style of play
So,
by
Lakshman,
bringing. Yeah.
Yeah, Lakshman, I
does
want
the
to
style of
ask
play
you a
and the game
question.
and the
What?
does the style of play, game, and the tactics and all is defined by the manager or by the board? If it is the manager's mistake, then why is Bartomeu criticized so much? Because see,
Because the
as
manager
far
is
as I
appointed
know,
by the board.
By the board. Yeah, and
yeah,
see the transfers are, even though there is a manager and there is Messi and there are players, finally the transfers and the players who come in or players who go out or the players who play, the final authority belongs to the board.
right.
Okay, Lakshman, I have a question for you. So we talk about how Barcelona has bottled in Europe. My question over here is, did you feel we all know that in Barcelona squad there are players who have played for a quite number of time for
Couple of years.
about number of years. Now, do you really think on the at Anfield or in Rome, do you think they lacked character? Was there a lack of character by Barcelona, or
I think
what
they
exactly happened?
definitely lacked attitude, the players.
Yeah, can you explain why you say that?
Uh, you see, like, I don't know, I just feel like they lacked attitude because when,
Okay,
see, even though we had a
I'll come back to a point.
four goals
I'll come
as
back
an
to a point.
advantage,
I'll come back to
yeah,
a point. So, in the Roma season, or even before, let's say during the Juventus season, Barcelona. That's where our before we lost to Juventus. That was the season after we won treble. So that season we had major managerial tactic issues with the team. Barcelona were an extremely attacking side. They scored a lot of goals, Messi, Suarez, and Neymar, but we had a defensive loophole in the side. Our defensive, we didn't have people who could track back, so there was a tactical issue with the team, which is why we lost. And then Valverde came. And under Valverde, we were still a very good attacking side, but our defense kind of strengthened up. So if you saw the league that season, we were almost unbeaten. We lost, I think we lost only one game in the season, which was the last before game. So during that season, Valverde, I would say, was personally, I wouldn't call selfish, but he was too self-centered that he wanted to win the La Liga unbeaten. So he ended up not resting players enough for the Champions League, which ended up in physical and mental fatigue of the players for the Champions League. And that was
Okay,
one.
Lakshman.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I have a question. Do you think Barcelona right now, the playing 11 they have, or rather the squad they have, is there a lack of tact? There's a lack of tactics involved, or lack of character involved in the players, and or maybe is it because the players, you know, ha- we know that Barcelona has an aging squad. So do you think the age is playing the role, or is it the character of the
Yeah.
players?
So
What exactly is it?
see, all of this can happen due to just one reason. Players could have a lack of motivation or lack of attitude due to something that is stopping them to have that. Which majorly could be the tactics. Okay, so after Neymar left, you see we lacked that star power up front. Yes, Messi is there. Yes, Suarez was there, but Messi, you see right now Barcelona game, everything goes through Messi. Busquets gets a ball, he looks for Messi. Frankie gets the ball, he looks for Messi. Ricky Puig gets the ball, he looks for Messi. The only player apart from Messi who kind of looks like he has the freedom right now is Ansu Fati. And he's pretty young. He has to age well. He has to get the exposure. What I'm trying to say is, when it comes to tactics in Barcelona, everything Messi has to create the chances. Messi has to score the goals. Messi has to win something. Messi has to do that. Messi has to do this. When Neymar or when Xavi and Iniesta were there, Messi was still the best player in the team. Things were still going through Messi. But we had the other quality. We had the quality in the midfield. We had the quality up front, where if Messi didn't have a great day, or if people are able to stop Messi, we could create something from the other people, which is lacking right now, which is a tactical mistake or tactical mistakes made by the board regarding the transfers or whatever. They got in Coutinho. They got in Coutinho for a whole season. They didn't let him settle in the club. They didn't let him settle. We got in Dembele and Coutinho.
Do you think? Setien should be sacked?
Setien, see again, I read this somewhere and I thought this was a good thing. Setien is the right manager at the wrong time. So when Setien came in,
Why do you say that?
yeah, I read this somewhere, which I agree to. The thing is, when Setien came in, the first few games, the first game was really impressive. When Setien, we just won 1-0 that game, but it was an impressive. We held possession. It felt like the old Barcelona's back. We're playing possession game, quick passes, creating chances, and all that. But eventually, that will work if we had the quality of players who can play that kind of game, which we lacked. Luis Suarez is an amazing. See, that's what I'm saying. Strikers like Suarez are really important for Barcelona right now. I'm saying not Suarez, but players like Suarez. Suarez is kind of the player who can who can create something out of nothing. Like if you saw against the Celta game, we were completely stopped. We couldn't create chances. But out of nowhere, Suarez pulled out something. He took a shot and it went in, which is what Neymar offered to the club. When nothing was happening, Neymar takes a shot. He makes things happen, and he creates his own chances and he gets something done. The thing is, Suarez can't do that at a consistent level because he's old. He's coming from a knee surgery, and he has been facing a few injuries for a couple of seasons now. So again, it comes back to the fact where we lack quality when it comes up front
Okay.
or in the midfield.
So, Krishna, I have a question now. Right now, the last 3 years, the transfers that Barcelona have done, okay, since Neymar's departure, do you think the way they have paid for players and brought in players is very similar to, how Manchester United were signing post, Sir Alex Ferguson until recently?
Manchester United and Barcelona are completely different clubs, and the players they signed are also completely different. United did have some panic signings. United did have few
Yeah, I
signings.
mean, do you think signing of signing of Coutinho or signing of let's say Dembele for that price, do you think
See,
they could have focused on the academy,
see,
looked at the academy once?
what it is see, United did make some panic buyings and they had some signings that didn't go as planned. But there it was a completely different ball game because there you need you needed a revamp of the entire team. You you cannot win a. I don't think you can win a Premier League with what say Phil Jones and Chris Smalling at the heart of the defense. No, that is not possible. So there the situation was
Phil
completely
Jones
different.
and Phil Jones and
Yeah.
Smalling filling the boots of Rio Ferdinand and Nemanja Vidic.
Mhm. So there, the situation was completely different. If you see at Barca, they still had the core with them. They just need to fill in positions.
Yeah,
They just need,
which is
they
why
just need to
yeah.
fill in
Can I?
positions and yeah, sure, sure. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
which is why I'm saying that we still have to keep the Barcelona school awake by bringing in the academy players, but we also need the quality. We also need the star power up front. We need
See,
someone. Yeah,
the thing is, no. See, the thing with the academy players is they just can't come straight from the
yeah.
academy and start
Exactly.
performing from the right,
Yeah,
from the word right go. So they need some time and they need that
they should
particular
be given game time. They
develop
should.
and reach that particular quality. If you're looking at a short-term success, if you want to win a season, if you want to win a Champions League the next season, I don't think academy players are the is the way which you look at. Might be
Yeah,
they can be given some times. They can be brought in from the bench. They can be inculcated in the first team and they can train along with the first team. That and all is fine. But if you need to win a trophy, if you need to win a game, I don't think academy players is the way where you look at.
yeah. That's
Even now, if you ask, if
Yeah, Lakshman.
let's
I
take a
agree.
look at Real Madrid.
Yeah,
I agree with Krishna. What he's saying, we definitely need to give importance to the academy players, but also we can't depend on them to win something. Which
you,
is why, yeah,
Lakshman,
yeah,
you're telling me that there needs to be a star player. So Barcelona has quite a few big names in the front. They even signed Griezmann this year.
yeah.
So what do you think about Griezmann signing?
Okay, again, see, I prefer or I believe that Griezmann was a signing that happened because we couldn't get back Neymar. People, when we signed Griezmann, the fans and all the footballing fans expected him not to do great with Barcelona because he comes from a totally different style of football, playing football for a long time now. He comes under Diego Simeone's style of play, where his whole team is more defensive. They drop back, counter attack, that kind of football. It's not more like the holding kind of play. It's not more like quick passes, quick chances creating, 1-2 play, converting chances. Like it's not like that. Griezmann did show some stints where he was fine. He can fit in. And again, I feel I wouldn't blame Griezmann for this because since Griezmann came in, he wasn't played in his natural position from the beginning. Under Valverde, he played completely on the left side, which is not his natural position. He's more of a center forward or a right hand side player. He was done that. So when Griezmann wasn't effective on the left side, he was benched. Instead of giving him chances playing up front or playing right, because right now you're looking to revamp a squad. You're looking to fill in a major void. For that, again, Barcelona, the thing is, Barcelona faces a lot of pressure. They're a huge club. So they have to win everything. They have to win the league. They have to win the Champions League. All this has to happen quick. We don't see, unlike United, United didn't fall from there to this like real quick. United slowly fell down. United, they were the champions. They won Champions League, and eventually, slowly, the players started getting old, and then they slowly came down, and now they're rebuilding. But for us, it's not like that. For Barcelona, it's like we were at the top of the world, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we fell down. But still, we are still the league champions. We still have all that. So that pressure is also there with Barcelona. But I feel regarding the Griezmann transfer, although Griezmann didn't look like the Barcelona kind of player, he should have been given more game time in his natural position. There were a lot of games, like even if you saw against Atletico Madrid, he came on at the 90th minute, which is shocking. Which is absolutely shocking. Ansu Fati and Griezmann came on after 86 minutes, which is a lack of tactic. Which is Setien apparently said in an interview when he was asked about Griezmann that I don't care how costly a transfer is, I only have players who fit the system. We got in Griezmann to make him fit the system and make him do something. That didn't happen because he didn't get enough game time. He didn't get to play enough game time in his natural position. He was either benched or yeah.
It all goes back to when Neymar left the club. Okay, when Neymar left the club, they immediately needed a winger who can play. So they went in for Dembele and
Coutinho.
Yeah, Dembele and Coutinho. Coutinho for the midfield for experience, whatever thing it is, and Dembele for the raw pace and talent, whatever he has to possess. See, I don't find a mistake in what
exactly
did to sign Dembele.
Unfortunately, we happen to be the unfortunate club where Dembele is always injured. So
yeah, exactly. He's injured, and he's very young. He's a kid who doesn't really understand what is important and what is not.
But if you saw
turn up for the ground and all, is a lack of attitude which I see can be developed because he still has time. He's 22, 23 right now. He still got years under his belt, and even now.
Yeah, even under Dembele's very little stints, he looked pretty good. He had the pace. He could take on defenders. See, only person who could do that right now in the Barcelona squad is Messi. Only person. But Dembele offered that thing. He could take on the defenders. He could attack more. He could provide that attitude. He could, he could make things happen, which will also
be the X factor. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So he could be like how I wouldn't compare him to this person, but like how Pedro was at Barcelona long back. Pedro wasn't a star name, but he wasn't a star name, but he had the fire. He could do something. If Messi and Eusebio or someone wasn't at their best, Pedro could make something happen. Like that. Right. We need someone like that for us.
So Ashwath, I have a question for you. Do you think Pep Guardiola will leave Manchester City if City gets the ban and join Barcelona? Though there have been speculations about Xavi agreeing to be the next manager. So until it's official, do you think that's a possibility that can happen if they get the ban?
I think there's a chance for this but what I think is Barcelona will actually go for Xavi, and if it doesn't work, they'll go for Pep Guardiola. Because Pep told, a month or two back that he would like to return to Barcelona. So it's very obvious that he'll go to Barcelona, but it's a question of when he'll go to Barcelona. And I think there's pretty much every possibility that he'll join Barcelona if the ban stands. But I also think, the current trend is more like you hire your club legends as your manager. You see United, they hire Ole Gunnar. You see Chelsea, they hired Lampard. And I think Xavi knows,
It's a familiarity factor.
yeah.
I highly
They know what is
doubt.
at stake.
I highly doubt if Pep or Xavi will join the club until Bartomeu is there.
Yeah, that's there.
See, I think the elections are
I
around the
think
corner.
Xavi knows more about the La Masia, and I personally think he could bring back the La Masia players into the squad.
No, it's
See,
not
And
just
I
the
don't
La
think
Masia.
any.
It's not
What
just
is
the
La
La.
Masia players? That is what I don't understand. You still have Busquets here. You still have Jordi Alba. You still have PK. You still have Sergi Roberto. You have
PK.
players from La
Yeah,
Masia.
PK is 35 years old.
It
Jordi
is
Alba is
not La
32 years
Masia,
old.
La Masia,
Busquets is
La
32
Masia.
years old.
Exactly. What I feel the club needs to do is get rid of these old people who aren't contributing anymore. Say for example, PK
See,
or
apparently,
a Sokrates.
I heard this about the club, the board. Frankie's out for a month now, and at a very
Yeah.
crucial period for us in the league, he was wrongly diagnosed with something by the club's medical team, which is why he's out for a
Yes.
month.
Yes.
So the board is at that level now at Barcelona.
See, and the
Lakshman,
next
what do
thing
you
is,
think?
what will happen after Messi leaves the club? See,
Yeah,
now
exactly.
everything is surrounding Messi.
Yeah.
Pass the
So
ball to Messi, he'll do something. Take corners, go, let Messi take, he'll do something. Free kicks, let Messi take. Penalties, let him take and miss, no problem. But let Messi take. What is this? Everything Messi, Messi, Messi. Once he leaves, what will be the state of the club? Who is there to, carry forward the club now?
see, that's what
I
I'm
think
I don't
that's
saying.
see
going to
anyone
be the
capable enough.
transition period,
Yeah,
Krishna. I
that's
think
no.
it's
That's what I'm saying. Every club faces this. Every club
yeah.
will have this problem. Every club will have a star player who will leave them, like how Hazard left Chelsea, and they have to rebuild now, and they are making the transfers, and they are doing pretty good. They are not doing bad. They are revamping like that. So right now, our whole game is revolving around Messi. But I'm saying even before it was like that. Under Guardiola, the game was revolving around Messi. But to surround him, we had the quality of players who could do that. That's what I'm saying. Right now, we have to build a squad, build a strong, healthy squad around Messi, and they have to settle in. So when Messi leaves, we can find a replacement for him. Someone like Dybala or someone, we can find a replacement for Messi, and then our game will still.
Excuse me, don't forget Pjanic. Yeah.
And yeah, Lakshman, what is your opinion about Arthur leaving and getting in Pjanic? The
Talk
Star
about absolute bullshit. Yeah. Okay. So this transfer is something that you go and see Barcelona's Instagram page. It's full of hashtag Bartomeu out, hashtag Bartomeu out, hashtag Bartomeu out. The whole comment section is like, see,
And you support the campaign, right?
yeah, duh. Okay. So see, I can't even come up with a good explanation for this. It is that kind of. It's like that.
Everything
Yeah.
I heard about this particular transfer is to balance the books of accounts of Barca.
Yeah.
This is what
Apparently, this is a personal motive See, I've been reading this somewhere. I'm not sure how true this is because obviously I don't live in Barcelona or I don't know what's happening there internally. But apparently, Bartomeu has his personal reasons for all these transfers to balance the books or something money related.
Lakshman, I have one last question for you. What is your opinion about Ansuman Fati and Ricky Puig?
Yeah. So
How do you think they are going to, you
of
know,
of
fill
all the
help Barcelona?
of all the
Yeah, yeah.
massacre right now, those two players are something a good some kind of positive vibe that we have in the squad. One is because they're pretty young. They're very young. Ricky Puig is 20 and Ansu's 18, just 18. And they've proven even at the European level that they have something about them and they can go about it. Right now,
And
what I want or what I beg, yeah,
Lakshman also include how Junior Firpo can replace Jordi Alba.
yeah, I'll come to that. Yeah, right now, what I beg for the club or the board to do is to keep them in the club. Give them some kind of game time. If you know you're safe in the league, you're playing good in the league, give them the starts. Right now, you see Arthur is gone. See, I feel letting go of Arthur was a very big mistake. But one positive side from that is it paves the way for Ricky Puig in the squad. So Ricky Puig is the kind of player who can make things, who can provide the creative front from the midfield, who can make the tough passes, who can make the instinctive creativity you talk about, like what Messi or Xavi or Iniesta had. The instinctive creativity is there with Ricky Puig. So that's a good thing. That comes from the Barcelona school of play. Which again, if you saw in the last few games, Ricky Puig was the player who was the most bright in the squad. He created more chances. He made the runs. He took on the opposition's midfield. He kept the ball. He held the ball. He felt motivated. Even when Suarez scored, he was the first person to go and do the celebration. He was motivated. It's the passion about these players, these young players. That's the thing with coming from the system. These young players, they look up to it. They look forward. They've been waiting for this opportunity for a long time. So whenever they get onto the field, it's like they give out their everything, which is what the club needs right now. The motivation. Even if we lack the quality, that
Yeah, they do
could
that
be
for the club. I mean, more than
that.
personally, I think they think about contributing for the club, and they're happy doing that.
Yeah,
I think.
that is there, and it's also, even if we lack the star quality, there is a sign of motivation and there is a sign of danger. You saw Ansu Fati, I think against Sevilla, he scored out of nowhere. Like there was a chance, he took the shot, it was a goal. So against Inter in the second leg, he came on, he scored the goal. So
Yeah.
it's like he takes on the defenders. We need players like that. We need that can be provided only by young and upcoming players who will feel motivated, who
Who
will
are fearless, basically.
who are fearless, who can take on these people. Ricky Puig, whenever you see him play, you feel like he is here to prove a point. He is here to say that why wasn't I there in the team even before the last season? He's there. I feel that,
See,
and yeah.
Lakshman, do
Barca's
you think?
tran-
Yeah,
Barca's
Krishna,
transfers are
continue.
usually, criticized or this thing, but they never noted players like Charles Langley or Nelson Semedo, who recently joined the club, and I think
Krishna's
players
lagging for me.
like
Krishna, you lagged for me. I couldn't hear anything.
right.
Oh, they said Langley and Semedo are good
Everyone is lagging for me.
signings, and we didn't appreciate them. Like,
Appreciate them enough. See,
yeah,
No. We
a
obviously.
center back, 20.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can.
yeah.
My connection is a bit slow.
yeah, we can.
You guys are lagging for me. Yeah, okay. So Coming to
Did you hear the question? Could you?
no, I didn't hear
Yeah.
anything. I didn't hear anything. Did you ask me something?
No.
You guys are
So
gone.
Krishna asked, like, failed to operate Langley and
1 second. 1 second.
See, Barcelona's transfers are hugely criticized for the players they have signed or players they have let go. But then, in the hindsight, if you see, they have signed players like Clement Langley or Nelson Semedo, who I feel are very invaluable to the squad. I just don't, get the point why they don't, appreciate signings like these. See, a centre back aged 24, 25.
You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. We appreciated them enough because Langley was a very important signing for us, and he stood up at the right time when Umtiti and PK were great when Umtiti was fit. With them we won the treble. Everything. Wait, I'll come back. I'll complete my point. Langley was appreciated well, but still, what's the point? We still ended up conceding goals. We still ended up bottling because Semedo was good. Semedo wasn't given consistent game time in his initial days because Sergio Roberto was preferred over him. But Semedo, again, initially couldn't offer the attacking support which Roberto could. But Semedo was good defensively. So there were positives and there were negatives. On the left side, Alba and Messi are a partnership. You guys know that for a long time.
Yes.
So, but Alba is very vulnerable defensively. So PK and Langley are great defenders. They're strong, but they're slow. PK is slow. Langley is not so quick. So which makes our whole defense a vulnerable defense. They're good, but something lacks. They don't have the, PK is old also, so he can't always be there throughout the game. He can't always be the same. Or
exactly. When they are so old, why don't the board, take a step to get rid of them? May it be PK or may it be Jordi Alba.
Nice question. Nice question. Which is what all the Barcelona fans have been asking the board to do.
See, Busquets is still okay, fine. I still rate him as one of the top defensive mids and
no. Again,
so
see, the problem right now is tactical. It's a tactical issue. We are too slow. Our transitions are slow. You see the ball moving from defense to midfield is slow. The midfielders, Busquets gets the ball. He doesn't move it fast enough to the attacking front. If it was Iniesta or Xavi, they move it quickly. It happens quickly. It goes front quickly, which makes the defenders think. It doesn't happen anymore. So it's a tactical thing, and it's just that we need to make the replacements we need to.
See, that is what I'm telling you, right? If you have to move the ball quickly, there must be someone from the forward line dropping back to collect the ball and then make the transition possible.
Which Messi does.
In Barcelona, you expect
which Messi does.
Messi to come back. You expect Messi to go and attack. You expect Messi to dribble. You expect Messi for goals. You expect Messi for assists.
That brings me back to the point where I'm saying there needs to be a player who has to support him and show the quality to do that, which we lack a lot.
Lakshman, how do you think Barcelona is going to react for next season with the existing aging squad that they have? Do you think they will win the La Liga title, which they
or the Champions League
bottled, or which they, I would say, bottled it this year?
See, I can surely say that it's going to be a tough year for us this year and next year. We will face a lot of challenges. We did sign Frenkie this year, who was supposed to be a long-term replacement for Busquets, but we also sold Arthur now, and another old player, Pjanic, is coming in. So
next Xavi, supposed to be next Xavi. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, see, I don't want to claim anything. He is the next Iniesta or next Xavi or next Messi or anything. We just
that is what your fan base claim.
We just know.
I think we've lost Ashwath. Is it?
Yeah, Ashwath is not there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is, we did make good signings with Arthur, Frankie, everything. If we didn't let go of Arthur, our midfield would look actually amazing with Ricky Puig, Arthur, and Frankie, who are all young and who are all motivated too. Because every time you see Arthur and Ricky Puig play, they do something. They are motivated. They do something. They make they create chances. They get the ball forward. They aren't slow in transiting. But again, with coming of Pjanic and with already the existence of Busquets in the squad, it's only going to make our transitions slower. And I really hope we sign. Apparently, there have been talks with Lautaro Martinez joining the squad. I hope that happens because he has been looking great. He has the amazing quality. He can finish. He can make something out of nothing, and he can also create chances. He can be a good partnership with Messi as he's also
This is
Argentine.
where I prefer to say Pjanic can be, a very good short-term signing. Okay, maybe for the few, Arthur might have been, a perfect player for the long-term run. But if you see short-term and if you guys like really want to win a title next season, I don't find watch the first round Pjanic. I still see him as one of the
Yeah,
best
again,
attacking midfielders or one of the best, a player who can initiate an attack either
Pjanic,
from the defensive line or
Pjanic.
either from the midfield, or he is versatile. He can play anywhere in the pitch.
See,
And I I don't understand why so much fuss around him because he's still one of the greats and he's as creative as anybody can get.
See, nothing against Pjanic. Pjanic is a really good midfielder. Just like we can relate Pjanic more to Busquets in our squad. But Pjanic, we need the pace, we need the quick transitions in the midfield, which Pjanic can't offer because
See,
he's not that
if
kind of a player. He's not that kind of a player.
he,
See,
you
even
you
Busquets.
you
No, I'll come back to my point. Even Busquets is not that kind of a player. But Busquets had Iniesta and Xavi around him, so that the role of Busquets could be effective to the team. Because took if he transisted the ball to Xavi or Iniesta, they moved forward quickly. We don't have players like that. Pjanic is a good player. Pjanic is a really good player. I'm having nothing against Pjanic. But under the current circumstance, the players around him should be of that quality. Or we should have signed someone of that quality. Which
Lakshman.
yeah.
see the thing is,
Yeah, yeah. Finish,
Pjanic
finish.
might not be fast and he might not, get you those dribbles from the midfield.
Which is
But
what we
if you
need
ask
right
me,
now. Which is what we
if
need
you
right
ask
now.
me,
Simple.
if you ask me, he's very quick to release the ball to forwards, or he is very, visionary to find that incisive pass which can, eventually lead to a goal. So I don't see Pjanic as a very bad signing. Either ways, it is going to be a difficult time for the
I think
Barcelona.
Ashwath has lost connection. So,
Yeah.
I think we three should
uh,
carry on.
Hmm.
yeah. So, Lakshman, now we have seen what the signings have been in recent years. We
I think
have, and in fact, the signing which is the Miralem Pjanic. Now, La Liga, in my opinion, it's done.
yeah.
Now, the only thing Barcelona need to focus on is the Champions League.
Mm.
Do you think
Uh,
that is an achievable target? Do you think, with the way they have been playing, they need to show the character? They need to prove a point that yes, we
okay.
will get back.
As a club, we've been facing a lot of issues lately, not just with the players or transfers. There have been issues between the management and the players. Things don't seem to go well between. Apparently, there are talks that Setien has lost connect with the bench, the squad, and he is set to leave next season. I don't know if these are rumors or true. And apparently, this thing happened. There was a fight between the management and the players. Apparently, one of Setien's assistant shouted,
Assistant,
or
yeah.
yeah, he swore a lot at the players after the Clasico, which caused a slight imbalance between the team. So, considering current mentality and current instability with the club, the Champions League
See,
looks like a task way too far for us. But that doesn't take us out of the game, is what I'm trying to say. Because we all know what Barca can do. We have seen the PSG come back, everything. We know that we are always there to
But
fight.
we have also seen Anfield.
Yes, fine. But I'm saying that we won't that won't stop us from giving a fight. But I feel we need the quality, we need the squad depth, and we need the X factor to win the Champions League, which I feel lacks with Barcelona right now.
Even even if you ask me, even I see a lot of problems with Eder Sarabia than Kike Setien. And I guess
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
even I feel
Krishna,
a lot of
could you repeat?
your net is bad.
Yeah,
So
Aditya,
anyway,
I think your connection is has a problem.
fine. Anyways, let's just finish this podcast with just your predictions for what is going to be against what is going to happen against Napoli.
I The good thing is that we are playing at home the second leg,
Hmm.
so which gives us an upper hand in the game, and also but there is a Napoli also. We also have the away goal advantage. We have
Hmm.
one away goal, so which is also a good thing. So I feel that the Napoli game shouldn't be should uh, basically I'm trying to say that we shouldn't bottle the Napoli game because things are oddly favoring us, being at home
Yeah.
game and we have the away goal advantage. And
Well, the
the
bids did favor in the Liverpool game after
the
3-0. I
that
think it
was
was an individual brilliance by
it.
Messi
Yeah, it was. And
in the first leg.
also we played the second leg away from home where we don't have a
Yeah,
great
this time
record.
you do play in your home. Yeah.
Yeah, we
So
play at home,
I
so
and with Frankie coming back to his
Frankie will
squad,
be.
I guess.
And one
Uh,
important thing is right now we don't have enough squad depth, so we have to make sure that no one gets injured,
hmm.
especially Messi, Suarez, or Griezmann or Ansu Fati. We should keep them safe. I feel probably we can see a game more of La Liga if we still have the title chances. But if we realize that it's uh, it's an achievement far too away from us, I feel that we have to start resting players from the league so that we can at least concentrate on the Champions League, which is left for us. Which
You will get to know this tomorrow, I guess. Tomorrow is like the toughest test I feel for Real
yeah,
Madrid against Bilbao. So,
yeah,
anyways,
we are
so
playing
that
Villarreal as well.
mhm. So yeah, that
So,
that
so
brings us to the end of the podcast. So
Lakshman, one last question. Where do
Yeah,
you think you want to? Where do you think Barcelona need to make the changes in this summer transfer?
in
The
the summer.
additions you think they need to make
Yeah,
this summer?
we definitely need to buy a stars like a talisman, a striker, star striker. Suarez is getting old, so we need someone to
proper
fill it.
striker.
A proper striker, a number 9 who could do what Suarez did so
Is it really
successfully.
necessary? Can't Griezmann fill those shoes?
It's See, there are still talks that Neymar is coming back to Barcelona, so I don't want to speculate anything. But but we do need to fill the boots of Suarez. What he has done so successfully for us in the past 4 or 5 years, and the core of the team, we need to get a good. See, I really hope Kevin De Bruyne comes to Barcelona. So we need a player of that kind. So
Yeah, you can take
to
Kevin De Bruyne, you can take Bruno
You
Fernandes,
guys,
you can take Paul
do you
Pogba,
guys need anyone? Do you guys need anyone else?
Oh,
Yeah.
no, thank you. I'm end of
So
podcast. I'm leaving.
with this,
also,
we'll
also
end the podcast.
by the next
Oh,
season, PK, Messi, Busquets, everyone is getting old. So we have to start.
Yeah, Van Dijk will replace.
It
Right?
is it is high time that we have to start preparing for the future and preparing for their exit, and we have to start rebuilding because this is a huge club and we can't become the next AC Milan. So yeah.
that is Blazing
So
Football here. And we had an amazing conversation with Lakshman, and hopefully, as everything needs to come to an end, this podcast needs to end. And so, thank you for one and all, and please do, subscribe, comment, and share, and keep supporting us. Thank you.
And also like.
Yeah. Okay.